4.
Welcome to the Dawgs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
What's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to a special live edition of the Dawgs Podcast, presented by
Justin's
computer, ultra loud computer.
Hey, just mute it, dude.
I did. Christ.
We'll do it live.
Christ, what are we doing? I just checked that too. God, I'm really sorry.
In
guys.
my defense, I muted mine also, and then I unmuted it, but then I had it turned all the way down. So I was luckily it's all on Justin right now.
Sorry. Really sorry about that, guys.
But
first time show.
Yeah, apparently this is the first time we've ever done an episode of the podcast.
Jesus.
I can't believe you guys still watch this show. Today we got a special episode. We got the 4th Annual Mad Dawg Awards. It's the most prestigious award show in the NFL.
Yeah, nobody cares about honors later.
Yeah.
This is it.
It's a red carpet event. People were lined up outside of our little shed here.
We had to lock the door.
To come to be in attendance for these. But we're excited to get to the Mad Dogs tonight. We did it a little differently this year. We actually have Dawg Pack members who are going to be announcing the winners. So I think it's going to be a really cool episode. So we appreciate you guys being here watching. And if you're interested in the Dawg Pack, I'm doing this a little out of order since I'm already talking about the Dawg Pack. Head to the jointhedawgs.com, become an official Dawg Pack member. This is just some of the cool stuff you get. By being a Dawg Pack member, you get to hang out with us more often, which is obviously a cool perk. And then you get to be on the show. You get your input on the show more. I mean, obviously we're active in the comments on YouTube and all that, but like this really gives you a chance to really be a part of the show. So if you're interested in that kind of thing and you want extra episodes, you want to play fantasy football with us, head to jointhedawgs.com, become an official Dawg Pack member. So besides the Mad Dogs, we got some stuff to get into today. Bill Callahan leaving.
I got something real quick.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
That's okay. It's okay. It actually has to do with the Dawg Pack.
Yes.
But I want to present Justin Charles with his Dawg Pack Champion T-shirt. Here you go, buddy. You won your league. You're the only dog that won it. So show it up to everybody.
Well,
so this is the shirt that all the winners of all of our leagues got.
How are we looking there?
Pretty good. Actually, here, let me switch over. Let me switch the cam over. There you go.
Ooh, that looks good.
So he's got his championship rosters on the back. Oh, yeah.
Well, guys.
I think, did you win it last year too?
I'm a 2-time Dawg Pack champion in fantasy football. Also the reigning Dynasty fantasy football champion. I told Josh, I'm kind of like Ricky Bobby out here. I just wake up and piss excellence. Nobody can handle my stuff out here.
I know there were some people who were in Justin's redraft league last year who demanded to be in his league again this year.
Pastor Rob.
They want a shot at the champ.
Yeah.
And then and Justin just came out.
Shot, baby.
And all he did was come out and just dominate the
real
field
quick,
again.
Shout out to Pastor Rob, because the deal with the Patreon Dawg Pack Fantasy Leagues is if you make it to the championship and you're facing one of the dogs, you automatically win that league. Like, we're not taking home the hardware. So as long as you make it to the championship and you're against one of us, you still win. And I reached out to Pastor Rob, said, hey, man, congratulations on making the championship. Too bad you came up short against Justin, but you still get the T-shirt for making it there. And he said, I don't want that T-shirt. He said, do not send me a T-shirt. You give it to Justin. I want to beat him fair and square. So
there we go.
We get rivalries and friendships and all kinds of cool shit going on.
That's my guy. I do love me some Pastor Rob.
That's right. The Dawg Pack is awesome, guys. You guys rock.
Yep. So if you want a shot at the champ, you want to play fantasy football, try to take down Justin. Literally 2-time redraft champion, won the Dynasty League this year. He's at the top. He's at the mountaintop. Somebody needs to come in and try to knock him down a peg.
King of the castle. King of the castle. Come look at my chair.
So if you want a shot at the champ, make sure you hop in the Dawg Pack this year. Once football season rolls around again, we'll get those fantasy leagues fired back up. Try to take down Justin. If you get in my league, you don't have to worry about me. I made the playoffs, but I wasn't a real threat. So if you want the Dawg Pack, jointhedawgs.com. It's a good time for everybody. We also have Bill Callahan leaving, taking a job with Tennessee, working for his son. We hired a new offensive line coach, Andy Dickerson, so we're going to get into that. We also hired a new offensive line assistant coach. So we discussed some stuff about those guys. Some recent news about the Browns stadium upgrades or relocation. We're going to get into some of that. Obviously, we want to talk about the Super Bowl a little bit. Super Bowl's in a couple of days. We're going to kind of tell you our thoughts on it. And then we will get into the Mad Dogs. So hang tight with us through the first part of this show. And then the last half of the show, it's going to be all Mad Dogs. We'll take a short break, get ready for the Mad Dogs, come back, and we'll fire off the Mad Dawg Awards. So without further ado, that's just, I guess I should tell you if you want to leave voicemails and all that good stuff.
TheDawgsPodcast.com. Go for it.
TheDawgsPodcast.com. Tap leave voicemail. Find us on all the socials. Just search at The Dawgs Podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the new episodes that we put out throughout the week and throughout this off season. So, Bill Callahan leaving. Yep. It's obviously a hit to the Browns. I do find it funny though that maybe this happens in other fan bases, but he left and it was like the sky was falling online. Like, we'll never recover from this.
Damn it!
And listen. We are huge Bill Callahan fans. Yes. We know what he's done for the Browns this year and throughout his years being in Cleveland. Getting some of these practice squad players to play at a level where we can be competitive and make the playoffs when we're on 4th and 5th string tackles. But does any other team, like, do other teams when they lose offensive assistant coaches, like not even coordinators, they're losing an offense? Do other teams' fans like lose their minds about this kind of stuff, or is this just a Cleveland thing?
I feel like that's a two-part question, but I would say, so is it a tough loss? Yeah, absolutely. He's probably one of the best offensive line coaches in the game right now. I don't think that we would argue that, correct? He's very, very good at what he does. Some of the guys that he's gotten prepared over the last few years just to come in, who was it? Blake Hance was doing snaps in a parking garage, and he played, starter reps. It's a tough loss, but I don't think like it has to be sky is falling, especially when you look at like the resume of this Andy Dickerson guy, correct?
Yeah.
I like some of the things that I've seen about him, former Browns coach, but what he did last year with Seattle, Josh kind of sent out some stuff about it too. He had a rotation, basically almost like Cleveland did in Seattle, and you look at what they were able to do with their running attack. Now, Kenneth Walker he's nice. He's a special kid. He's young, but I think that he did a hell of a job in Seattle. So for me, I'm more excited at the opportunity to see what this kid can do, as far as coaching these guys up. It's not like we have a bunch of scrubs. There's some talent on our offensive line. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah. If we're going to move kind of into the resume of Dickerson, I kind of made some notes here. So like you said, with the Cleveland Browns from 2009 to 2010, defensive quality control coach, and then he turned into the assistant offensive line coach. Then he became the assistant offensive line coach for the Rams from 2012 to 2020. He was there when they played they played the Patriots in the Super Bowl in 2018. He actually has a Super Bowl ring coaching with the Patriots back in 2004. Back then he was just an operations assistant, but he was hired as the run game coordinator, which I thought was interesting considering how bad our run game was this year. So run game coordinator in Seattle, then promoted to the offensive line coach in 2022, kept that position in 23. And we've talked about him on this show, Brad Moneymaker, in the Discord saying, hey, who is this guy? He's the first guy that the Browns brought in to interview for the open offensive coordinator position this offseason, like immediately. And when we started looking ahead at the probability that Brian Callahan was going to get hired, Bill Callahan would probably want to go coach with him.
Yeah.
Then the fact that they brought Andy Dickerson in for the OC position all started to make sense. It was like they're getting ahead of the game here. Mm-hmm. They're bringing in the guy that they want if and when Callahan leaves. And that's exactly how it played out.
I think if you fire off, Blake, I think an interesting thing with Callahan that I heard, though, was he was pretty much a big organizer and in charge of basically all of our screen game offense, which I think that's another aspect that, like, we do that a lot. We do that well. So I think that's something interesting. We'll see how that translates with this new offense going forward. But, I don't think sky's falling. And, good for him. I don't blame him for wanting to go and coach for his son.
And Bill Callahan, he's probably only got a few years of coaching left, you would imagine. He's not going to be in the league forever. He's an older guy. He's obviously wants to go and help his son, make sure his son's going to be successful. Like, if you're a dad, how cool is that to watch your son become a head football coach in the NFL and you have a chance to go help ensure his success? You're obviously going to want to do it. I saw some comments on Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter, in our YouTube comments talking about they couldn't believe the Browns let him just walk, didn't try to get any compensation for the lateral move. Where do you guys stand on this? Because in my opinion, why would you block that? If you're Cleveland and you block that, that's a terrible look. But you let him go. I mean, Bill Callahan's been in this league forever. So and he's got connections and people know him. So now you let him leave. You let him leave on good terms. You encourage it, in fact. And now when somebody says, they go to call Bill and they say, hey, Cleveland's reaching out. You were there. What do you think? Is it an okay place to go work? Oh, it's great. They were awesome when I was there. When I wanted to leave, they let me off. No problems. They were super encouraging. This is how you build a reputation around the league. If you block that, something like this, you just look, it's a bad look.
I think you nailed it. I think that they've built a culture and a locker room, and, that guys want to come in. You saw Joe Flacco. Hey, this is one of the best team, as far as locker rooms and that I've been involved with. I think it does. It kind of leaves a bad taste, when you go, oh, well, hey, we're blocking this guy from going and coaching with his son. To me, I never even thought that was even going to be an option. I thought that would be just a bad look for the Cleveland Browns. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, well, maybe there's a chance that he doesn't leave, But I think if you look at read the tea leaves and everything, it makes sense. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Especially that's every father's dream, especially for him, probably going through the ranks of coaching and stuff like that, to see his son get an opportunity. I mean, to me, I don't think it's that crazy. I think you nailed it. It would be such a bad look for the Browns.
Yeah, it would be a terrible look for the Browns. And where, like you said, we're trying to go from the place where the only people who come to Cleveland are people who are trying to get their foot in the door, or they've
their last check
ass everywhere else, or they need a check. We're trying to change that in Cleveland. I think Kevin Stefanski said it's a unique situation. He didn't want to block it.
Yeah.
So and Kevin's remarks about it was, he was very, that they knew it was coming. And they were all on board with it. They were all okay with it. I don't think it was a big deal whatsoever. I mean, Kevin even said it's every kid's dream to be able to go to work and boss your dad around, and he just laughed about it. Like this, at the end of the day, the NFL is still business. It's a job, but there's a lot of brotherhood and family ingrained in what these guys do. And that's all. I mean, that's why the Browns culture, like you said, is just night and day from what it used to be.
Yeah. I thought that was something interesting to talk about. I obviously want to mention Dickerson and what he did in Seattle, and then I also just want to address the comments in terms of of Bill Callahan leaving. I think the only thing, I was slightly surprised when they announced he was leaving, because reports had come out that he wasn't going to leave. We'd made him one of the highest paid assistants. We were very protective of him. He loved it here. We loved having him here. So it looked like one of those things where it wasn't going to happen, and then 2 days later they said he was leaving. So
I think that was a lot of the media too, because the media was back and forth on Callahan's probably going to go. Never mind, they're being very defensive of him, and it's like, why don't you guys just wait and see what happens? But real quick, I was going to hit Andrew Jackson's question from the chat. Said, did Bill Callahan improve Jed Wills? If so, how bad was he then?
It's interesting.
And we've talked about this on the show before, and a lot of people will point to, Callahan did good things with a lot of players, but Jed Wills never really amounted to much. And I've said before, what if he did? What if this is the most you could get out of Jed Wills and Bill Callahan did it? You know what I mean? We don't know.
We'll see. It's one of those things too, where I almost feel bad talking about a poor Jed Wills play, because right before the injury this year, it almost appeared like he was turning a corner.
He picked it up.
You know what I mean? It's like night and day. All of a sudden, his effort seemed like sky high. And we've always been, I won't call us Jed Wills defenders, but we haven't let people just say he's been a bust, because we've talked about how the dude came in as a rookie, solidified the left side of the defensive line. And has he been, top 10 pick worthy? Maybe not, but he's still been above serviceable starting left tackle in this league. So I'm not willing to call him a bust. Now, has he been everything we want him to be? Has he been Tristan Wirfs? No. Okay. But man, it really seemed like he was starting to turn a corner last year before the injury. So I felt really bad for the guy. So I don't want to just jump on here and bash Jed Wills, as it looked like he was really starting to come around as right before the injury, kind of like our entire team. I did want to address Kenny Mack said, nice t-shirt, me. my entire wardrobe today brought to you by the Ottawa Browns backers.
Very nice. Thank you, Kenny.
I'm wearing my Ottawa Browns backers shirt. I'm wearing my Ottawa Browns backers banana hammock. Nice. You guys just can't.
Well, we saw it.
Yeah. It's really awkward in here off screen.
Yeah, for sure.
But no. So I appreciate Kenny gave me the shirt years ago, and I'm just now wearing it. So I appreciate that, Kenny. So we obviously, some news dropped about the Browns and stadium renovations and whatnot. Bought a bunch of land over by the Cleveland airport. I think it's called Brook Park. It used to be home. It's home to like former Ford Motor Factories. It's a giant piece of land. How many acres?
176.
76 acres, which is a lot of acres.
Yeah.
Good for them. That's expensive. I know how much an acre goes for these days.
Yeah, about 20.
So
about 20 G's.
So that, and then there's speculation. Are they looking to move the stadium outside of downtown? Are they just making this as to try to put pressure on the government in Cleveland to start partying up some money for stadium renovation, all this good stuff? I didn't realize how bad the Browns stadium was in terms of condition. I always thought, it's a newer stadium. It looks really nice, like from afar. Apparently it's one of those don't look too close because we have a Dawg Pack member who, he builds buildings in Cleveland. He's working on the Sherwin-Williams Tower right now. And he knows a lot about like the structural integrity of the Browns. I don't know if he worked on it, but or if he knows guys who worked on it. But he says the place is, don't be afraid to go there, but it's being held together a lot by there's a lot of stucco tape and bubble gum and duct tape. So I never realized it was in that bad a shape. He said there's no, putting a roof on the building in its current state is not an option. Is what he said. And he's talked about the ground soil over there. He knows a lot about the stuff up there. So I know the Browns are trying to put pressure on Cleveland government to come up with stuff for this. I know the Haslam's want to reinvigorate the entire shoreline of Lake Erie up there. They have big plans for that. So people who bash on Haslam, I know he's made some mistakes, but the dude is he invests a lot in Cleveland. He's trying to turn Cleveland into a spot. So you can't hate on the guy for that. But where do you guys stand in terms of leave it on the lakefront downtown, move it to Brook Park or somewhere else? I know I've been on the record saying they should move it out of downtown. I've heard people talking about it in our Discord, Peter and Kenny Mack, when it left it downtown. Where do you guys stand on this?
Do you want me to go?
Justin, you go. You know what? Let me go first because you go to games. Okay. You go to every home game. So your opinion might be a little stronger than mine. When I go to games, downtown sucks. Downtown blows, man. The traffic is awful. And I love the idea of having it downtown. They need a better logistical system to make it operate better. If that's part of the plan, okay, cool. Keep it where it is or renovate it. But I just want a freaking retractable roof. I'm sure Justin feels the same way. I'll let you talk here in a sec. I don't want to go sit in the cold and the rain and all that crap, the wind. And I've seen a lot of people actually commenting on our Twitter post about it would be really nice to have a closed, field where I could actually sell my tickets if I can't go. I know people struggle with that kind of stuff because I know I'm not looking to buy tickets on a December game whenever it's 15 degrees. I don't want to go.
No, there's a time in that season where I'm like, I'll go to games here.
Yep.
I'm not going to games here.
I know people the cutoff.
Yeah. If anyone's like, hey, do you want to go to Browns game this year? I'm like, well, we've only got a couple we can go to.
Yeah. What month is it?
Yeah. After this month, I ain't going.
And maybe we're pussies.
Maybe, but
whatever. I don't care.
What do you think, Justin?
So I'll say this. I do like going up there. There is a parking problem. Okay. There's legitimate parking problem. If you shell out cash and park, we park over at the courthouse basically, and it's nice up there.
Yeah, but what time you got to get there to get in?
8:39.
Yeah, that's another
you're leaving it. So for us, we leave 7 a.m.
and you're getting home at 7, 8 o'clock at night,
grinding.
Going to the Browns game shouldn't have to be
an all-day
event. Maybe if I was 20 and I didn't have a wife and a kid, I would do that, and I would love to do that.
We got to bring them to the game.
Yeah, but guess who's not paying for the expensive tickets to go to a Browns game? Young people that don't have wives and kids. I'm sorry, maybe to a game, but
yeah.
Like I can't be going up. I can't be leaving my house at 6 o'clock in the morning, going up there, getting pissed drunk until the game starts, sitting there watching the game, getting stuck in traffic for 3 hours, leaving the game, and not getting home until 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Right.
That's a fast track to a divorce.
Well, you got an open couch for me?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I don't have time for that. I think, and then they start shutting roads down.
For sure.
You know, if you don't get into Cleveland by 8, 9 o'clock, you're screwed. Because they start shutting roads down. So then now you're parking 3 miles from the stadium, or you can only go around Kings Boulevard or something is what it's called, the back way down by the lake, and the traffic for that is 5 miles long.
Correct.
And it moves at a snail's pace. You won't get into the stadium until the second quarter if you're lucky. So it's just. I look around when they do aerial shots of these other stadiums around the league, even other NBA arenas, and and they got a huge parking lot.
Yes.
And the parking is directed. You get in there in an organized fashion. You get out in an organized fashion. It's well lit. You know what I mean? For a night game, you're not just walking back through downtown Cleveland,
True.
hoping you don't get mugged. And so I understand the talks of leaving it in downtown because getting into downtown sucks. Once you're in downtown, the atmosphere is
electric.
Yeah.
Correct.
I get that. But I don't want to, I don't want to walk to the stadium 2 miles in the freezing cold wind. I don't want to sit in the freezing cold wind for 4 hours and then have to walk 2 miles back to my car. I don't want to have to leave at 6 a.m. so I can get into Cleveland 7 hours before game time. Because if you try to get into Cleveland 2 hours before game time, you won't be at the game on time.
No. If you leave at 11, like from where we live, you're not getting into Cleveland. You're not even getting into Cleveland.
Yes.
Let alone get close to the stadium and get to the game.
So, like you said, if they can do it on the lake, put a roof on it, do some construction, make some more ports of entry, buy some more land, do something to make it more accessible, then I'm perfectly fine with leaving it where it is. But the accessibility right now, I don't go to more games because I just don't feel like putting up with it.
That's a lot. I mean,
I don't feel like doing it.
You really got to commit. I mean, you like you said, you have to commit a whole day, and it's just not. I love the Browns, obviously. I'll sit there and watch I'll start at 12 and I'll go till 4. But I got other crap I got to get done that day. You know what I mean? And I can't. Now, if I was going up to one game a season and it was a whole day event, okay, that's fine. But like you said, multiple games, season ticket holders is a fast track to divorce unless you're like Justin, drag your wife along with you.
Right.
Yes.
And your children. I'll say this though. How do you guys feel though? So I don't know anything really about what's available land plottage wise in let's say a Parma or Willoughby or a suburb of Cleveland. I know a lot of people that they're very against that because they want it to still be in the city. They need it to be in the city. But is anybody, for me, I'm okay, so we're 15 minutes closer to the game. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing for me is once you figure out a plan for getting to the game, you're good. You know what I mean? The first, I would say, season that me and my wife went up, we messed it up so many times. We wouldn't even get in the game till halfway through the first quarter. Yeah. And that, and it's a loss, at that point. It's still fun, and then you're waiting, like you said, 2 hours in a parking deck trying to get out. Once you get a plan together and you're good, it's fine. But I wouldn't be even against it outside of Cleveland. I love Cleveland. I love going into the city, but I wouldn't be against it being in a suburb or especially if it was just a little bit more organized.
I know it might sound crazy, but if you look around the league, most of these stadiums aren't where
in the city limits. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? Right. The Giants and the Jets aren't even in New York.
Yeah.
They're in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The new Niners stadium is nowhere near. It's not in San Francisco. I forget exactly where it's at.
Santa something, right?
Yeah.
Santa Clara.
So
I don't know.
Because of accessibility. You know what I mean? So listen, I love going to Cleveland. I love being driving up, seeing the skyline, getting into Cleveland, all that good stuff. But I happen to be there 7 hours before the game even starts. It's just ridiculous.
It is, for sure.
So before we get into the Mad Dogs, we got about 5 minutes here. Talk about the Super Bowl. So we got an interest. I think it's a very interesting matchup.
Yeah.
Niners, Chiefs. Mm-hmm. just real quick with the Chiefs, that was who I wanted the Browns to play because I was like, this is the most vulnerable they've ever been. I think we can smack the Chiefs around. They're in the Super Bowl.
Me and you talked about it. We were like they're because of who's on that team on the offensive side of the ball, pretty much Andy Reid, Mahomes, Kelsey, their defense is completely overlooked. And I think nobody even gave their defense any kind of respect.
The defense has been carrying them this year.
The defense is absolutely carrying them. I do think it's a very interesting game. You talked about like who do you want to root for, like, or are you even allowed to root for certain teams like that? Like, to me, I have no interest in either of these teams, right? Like the Browns are out. I know other than Ray, I really pretty much all the 49er fans I know, I'm like, I don't want them to win. But I think for I like Andy Reid a lot. Like, you know, for a legacy standpoint, I'd be interested in seeing if I had to like cheer for somebody. I don't really care either way, but I think Andy Reid seems like a great dude. I like Travis Kelsey a lot, you know, Cleveland guy. So, I mean, if I had to like pick a team, I would say the Chiefs. But I think it's a very interesting matchup.
So in terms of, this was a question, we'll kind of blend it into our Super Bowl talk in terms, do you root for other teams once the Browns are in it? For me, I would never say I'm rooting. Correct. I might have a team or a player like I'm interested in. Yeah. Like I was pulling for the Lions. When they lost, I didn't give a shit.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
No tears shed.
No tears shed, yes. Right. So there's teams, you know, I might be pulling for. This might sound crazy as a Browns fan, and because like I'm probably supposed to hate them because they're in the AFC and we're in the AFC. I don't really have a problem with the Chiefs. I like Andy Reid. Yep. I don't have a problem with Patrick Mahomes.
He's very good.
Okay, I don't have a problem. His wife and brother are annoying as shit, but I don't have a problem with him. Travis Kelsey, I like Travis Kelsey. I know a lot of people don't like him because of his Pfizer commercial and his girlfriend. I don't care where the guy gets his money, and I don't care who his girlfriend is. I think he's funny and he's good at football.
Yeah.
He's from Cleveland.
He's from Cleveland, and he still very much enjoys Cleveland.
Correct.
So I'm not going to hate the guy for that. But that being so, I don't have a problem with him. But the team I'm pulling for in this situation would be the Niners because I'm not going to root for the AFC team if I have a choice. Right. I might not have a problem with the Chiefs, but I'm not going to root for them to win it.
Right.
And I actually like Kyle Shanahan. I like Nick Bosa. I've been a CMC fan since he was at Stanford.
Yeah.
So I'm pulling for the Niners here, and I think Brock Purdy. I hate the hate on Brock Purdy. And so I think it would be awesome if he came out here and outdueled Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl just to shut everybody up, because you can't call him a system QB. If that was the case, why isn't Sam Darnold this good for this team? Why isn't Jimmy G this good for this team? They call him a dink and dunk master. No, he leads the league in air yards. Okay, his yak is actually less than Patrick Mahomes' yak of the year he won MVP. So. There's just all this poor narrative about Purdy, and I'd love him to come out and have a good game and just shut everybody up. So I'm pulling for the Niners, but again, if the Niners lose, I'm not going to care.
Right.
Right. For me, it's like, as long as there's not a team in the Super Bowl that I absolutely hate, like if the Ravens were in the Super Bowl, I would be rooting against them. Yeah, I don't care who's playing. It's the opponent.
Correct.
When it comes to a game like this, though, which is most Super Bowls, I'm honestly I want a good game.
Yes.
Like last year, it was the Eagles and the Chiefs, and I really didn't have a preference. I wasn't really pulling for either team, to be honest with you. I just wanted to see these two great quarterbacks, these two great teams, and it was a great game.
Yep.
And one thing about Patrick Mahomes, though, with the Chiefs is, and I took a lot of crap for this as a kid whenever the Patriots were on the top and Brady was winning all the Super Bowls. I was like, I kind of just want to see how many he can win. Like, I appreciate greatness in that regard, kind of like with LeBron James in the NBA. Like, I just want to see the best players do it at the best level. And if the 49ers can knock them off, cool, good for them. I want to see them succeed and continue to push that greatness boundary until somebody stops them. So those are kind of I guess I root for things. I don't necessarily root for teams. I want a good game. I want the best players to have great performances and I just love taking in all that football greatness.
I agree. I root for a good game. And a lot of times what happens to me is I'll start watching a game not caring. And then in the game,
same thing.
Something will happen to a team, or a team will maybe get down early and they start to mount the comeback. And I'm like, okay, I want to see the comeback. I could go into a game not caring, or maybe I'm pulling for the Niners early, and then like maybe I think the Chiefs get the raw end of a deal, and I'm like, oh, that was bullshit. I want, and then I'll start. So sometimes that kind of happens to me. I do think this is an interesting game.
Yeah.
What's your gut say? Who wins?
So I think the Niners are like almost as complete of a team as you can put together. Unlike in every aspect of the game. I mean, like their offense, there's weapons everywhere. Their defense is loaded. Something just tells me Chiefs. I have a feeling that it's just going to be the Chiefs.
Blake opened up this whole conversation about the Chiefs were the team that he wanted the Browns to face in the playoffs because he thought this was the year you could beat them. I'm taking the Brady and Patriots approach. I will not bet against the Chiefs until they lose and start losing consistently. So I would actually take the Chiefs in this one. What about you?
This is one of those things, again, like Justin says, I feel like the Niners, top to bottom, they're definitely a better roster.
Correct.
I think so, for sure. Yeah.
But at the same time, at times they've been a little fraudulent this year. They got their asses kicked by the AFC. They lost the only team in the AFC North they beat this year is Pittsburgh. In week 2? Week 1. We played them in week 2.
Yeah.
They got beat by us. They got throttled by the Bengals. They lost to PJ Walker. They got throttled by the Ravens.
Baltimore's
they ran through the very non-competitive weak NFC. And anytime they played a team from the AFC, they just got stomped.
With a good defense. They could put some pressure on Purdy and made things interesting.
I'm very curious to see what team shows up for the Niners. And it almost feels like if you don't get the Chiefs this year, when are you going to? Because they're not going to roll with this same crappy wide receiver core.
No, they're going to go get one next year.
They're going to go get somebody. Yeah. Like they got Mahomes, they're going to be going for it every single year.
Well, and I think we talked about Rashee Rice has kind of turned into a legitimate receiving weapon for Patrick Mahomes. So they go get a burner with separations.
T. Higgins, Mike Evans, any of them kind of guys. You throw them with Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce and Pacheco. And
this is a
Mahomes
very, very, very good and deep wide receiver draft class coming up.
I think Pacheco could play a huge key in this game.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
He's sneaky, kind of a difference maker for them. They're very finesse, and then he's just a battering ram.
He's a mean.
Yes.
He's an angry runner.
Again, I think the Niners on paper are the overall better team, but this is not. I'm not picking. I just won't pick against them, like you said, until they lose.
Right.
It could go either way. I won't be shocked if the Chiefs lose and the Niners win, but I'm going to continue to pick the Chiefs until I'm wrong. So
real quick, I know we're going to take a quick break. We're going to transition over to the Mad Dogs. There's one thing we wanted to mention at the coaching discussion. I just want to throw it out there for everybody who not in the news cycle today. But the Browns have hired the Eagles' assistant offensive line coach, Roy Isvan, to be the new assistant offensive line coach because Scott Peters, who was Bill Callahan's assistant offensive line coach, left to go join Alex Van Pelt in New England. So I'm pretty sure that Scott Peters either thought or wanted the offensive line coaching position after Callahan left. And I think the writing was on the wall. I don't think that was ever in the cards, considering they brought Dickerson in from the beginning to interview him. So kind of makes sense. Peters leaves to go to New England. That's fine. This guy from the Eagles, though, I was doing a little bit of research on him today. I think they said like 30 plus years in college. He was an offensive coordinator for 5 different college teams. Has the last 5 years in the NFL with the Eagles as their assistant offensive line coach.
They had one of the best offensive lines in football.
And his first year there was when Andrew Berry was there. So there's some familiarity there. Like these guys know each other. I think the Browns it sucked that Bill Callahan left, but bringing in Dickerson and now Isvan to be his assistant, I think the offensive line could be pretty good. Yeah. And it's a good thing for the run game.
The Browns in general, with all their coaching hires, it sucked losing Stump. The Van Pelt thing is what it is. It seems like a great guy, but he wasn't bringing anything different to the table. I think Ken Dorsey could end up being a home run hire. I think some people are starting to warm up to that idea. I think Deuce Staley is a great hire. I think Dickerson, along with the new assistant, is another. I feel like the Browns have really done a good job revamping their staff in the offseason.
Yes, 100% agree. I think they've done a really good job so far. I'm happy with it.
Which is kind of on par for Andrew Berry every offseason.
Him and Kevin.
So, all right, Well, we're going to transition here into the Mad Dawg Awards. We're very excited to bring you the 4th Annual Mad Dawg Awards. It's going to be a good one. Did it a little differently this year. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. We're going to take about a minute, 90-second break here to get ready. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys in a minute and a half.
This episode is sponsored by Omaha Steaks. Browns fans, if you missed out on the 4 chicken breasts and 4 pork chops that Omaha Steaks was doing here recently, don't worry. You can head to omahasteaks.com/dogs, DAWGS, today, and you'll get 4 free steak burgers added to any order over $99. Plus, if you have an order that's over $149, use code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out, and you'll get $30 off of that order. So right now is the perfect time to stock up. Load up that cart, guys. Steak, burgers, chicken, jumbo franks, desserts, ready-to-eat meals. They got seafood. They've got so many different things at Omaha Steaks, and all of it. I've had all of it except for the seafood. I'm not going to lie. I'm not much of a seafood eater myself. My fiance thinks I'm weird, but that's okay. Everybody is their own person, but the rest of the food, I've had it all, and it is phenomenal. So head to omahasteaks.com/dogs right now. Get 4 free burgers on any order over $99 and use promo code DAWGS when you check out on any order over $149 and get $30 off your order today. omahasteaks.com/dogs. Minimum order may apply.
What's up, movie magic? Justin's really struggling today.
We even did a test run.
Justin
did the full thing.
I had this idea that we should take a commercial, then we could come back, sports jackets, ready for the Mad Dawg Awards. I figured everybody just be throwing a jacket on. Justin went shirt, tie. He's like doing Taylor Swift transition on the Eras tour or something.
Baby.
And then
he got changed underneath the stage. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys could hear it on the mic. I'm snapping my fingers because he doesn't have his headphones plugged in.
No clue what's going on
and then
today.
he bangs his leg. It's Justin.
I'm the wild card.
It's kind of a shit show in here.
He's going to be talking to producers after the episode.
Yeah.
He's going to get drug tested. But we're super excited to bring you the 4th Annual Mad Dawg Awards.
That R says we heard Justin struggling over there.
It's breathing heavy. It's a lot. It's a lot.
There's a lot.
Of layers.
I told him just to do a couple buttons. He's committed, though. He did all of them.
We're going all out.
Committed to the bit.
Again, these glasses brought to you by Ottawa Browns backers. Thank you, Kenny Mack. He gave us these when we saw him up at training camp this year. Or no, when he was in the studio. Yeah. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the Mad Dawg Awards. Basically, what's going to happen is we're going to say the category, and we're going to tell you who we picked, and then we'll play the video with who the nominations were and who won. That is presented by a Dawg Pack member. So we're super excited to get into this. I don't know who won, and I don't even know who's presenting yet because while they were doing all this in the Discord, I was paying zero attention. So
I'm the only one who's seen the submission. So everybody who sent their videos, these guys haven't seen them yet. So your reactions are going to be very authentic. Yes. I can't wait.
So I can't wait. So without further ado, the first category, you're going right in order the way we voted, right?
Absolutely.
So all right. So the Young Pup Award, which is the Rookie of the Year. I know who I voted for. So who I voted for here was Dawand Jones. I just think even with the injury, he performed at a level that nobody was expecting, and he answered the bell early, week 1.
Dawand Jones, 100% for me. Enough said. There's really nothing else. Big Thanos, baby. What do you think, Justin?
I believe I voted for Dawand Jones, but I don't have the actual nominees pulled up on my phone at the moment. So for Young Pup, Dawand Jones.
All right. Absolutely. So without further ado, the winner of the Young Pup Award.
Hey Dawg Pack, my name is Nora Kaiser, and here are your nominees for this year's Young Pup Award. Cedric Tillman, Dawand Jones, Ronnie Hickman, and Cameron Mitchell. And your winner for the Rookie of the Year for 2023 goes to Dawand Jones with 85% of the vote. Congratulations, Dawand. Go Brown.
That was so awesome.
I just gotta.
They hit me in the field.
Yeah, bro. I'm glad I have sunglasses on because I kind of. I just got a little teary-eyed under here. That's very awesome.
Well, one, congratulations to Dwan Jones, the 2023 Young Pup Award winner in your 4th Annual Mad Dawg Awards. And awesome fan submission there.
Yes.
Yes,
Andy
thank you,
Kaiser's
Nora.
daughter.
Yes.
Thank you, Nora. We appreciate it. She just set the bar.
Yeah.
That's right. Kick it off hot.
She set the bar. Everybody tell Nora, good job. That was
killed it.
awesome. Yes.
She killed it.
She said she did better, way better than I would.
I didn't even know who the nominees were. She did know.
So
good for her.
Awesome job.
Oh, you want to? All right, real quick, funny story. So I was working with Andy to get that, and at first he just sent me an audio file of her, and I said, "Oh, so we're not going to do video." And he's like, "Oh, did you want video?" He's like, "Shoot, I told her we were doing audio, and she had already started to pull all her Brown stuff out of the drawer
Get it out. Get
because
this.
she was ready to go."
Yeah.
Hey, the camera, you were good. You
Killed it.
There's a spot here for you when you're
Yes.
don't have a bedtime. Awesome job. So we will move into the next category was your Air Bud and Golden Receiver, which is your best pass catcher of the year. The key here is not just receiver. It is the best pass catcher. Anybody who catches passes for the Browns. I went with a surprising vote here. I voted for David Njoku. I just thought this was kind of his coming out party. He had so many big performances. So I went with David Njoku.
I mean, I don't hate that pick. I just I went with Amari Cooper. Just, he had a record-setting day this year. He was pretty damn reliable for us. So I just went with Amari Cooper.
I went with Amari Cooper as well, just because he was that guy the whole season. David came on about halfway through and just went ballistic. And I'm so excited to see what he does in 24. But for this year, I did vote for Amari.
All right, here we go.
What's going on, the Dog Pack? This is Brandon Palazzo, also known as Butters, coming to you live from Kent, Ohio. And today I have the honor of giving out the award for this year's Air Bud Golden Receiver Award, which goes to the Browns' best pass catcher. Now for this year, for 2023, we have 3 nominees: Amari Cooper, the Chief David Njoku, and Jerome Ford. Now after everyone voted, the astounding 63% of the vote went to Amari Cooper. Congrats, Amari. Congrats to the rest of the nominees. Here's to a great 2024 season. Go Browns.
Great radio voice.
Yes.
Great voice. Great hat, by the way, brother.
Yes.
We should send him a Mad Dog Award for, great hat.
Best hat
Best
award,
hat.
like the Dundies.
Yeah.
No, congratulations, Amari Cooper. Another awesome. The fan submission idea, I think, was that Kenny Max?
That was Kenny Mac's idea.
Great
Kenny,
idea.
Thank you.
Great
brother.
idea.
That was such a good idea,
Yes,
man.
this
We're
is like
doing
an-
this every year.
For sure. That was awesome. Congratulations, Amari Cooper. Great season. Me voting for Njoku took nothing away from Amari Cooper. I think I voted for Amari Cooper later down the road. And I saw this as David Njoku's chance to win. But Amari Cooper, steadfast. We can't let him leave. He's got to be back in a Browns uniform. We got to put somebody with him. Congratulations, Amari Cooper. So the next category we're going to check out then is the guard dog, which I think you guessed it. That is your best offensive lineman. My vote here went to Joel Bitonio. Old reliable.
I agree.
you're right on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say the same exact thing. I mean, I think that there were a couple guys. Wyatt Teller obviously is always great, and Dwan Jones probably would have won this, honestly, if he'd have played the whole season. But Joel Bitonio, old reliable.
Hey, Dog Pack, what's up? This is Brad Moneymaker, and here are your nominees for Guard Dog Award. We got Eason Posick, Joel Bitonio, Wyatt Teller, and Dwan Thanos Jones. So, as you can see, I am at the Brown Stadium, and I thought I'd do this announcement right in front of it. Why not? So, without further ado, your winner is, and here we go. Hang on, we're gonna turn. Dun 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 dun. Joel Bitonio, boys, that's your winner for this year's Guard Dog Award. Let's go.
That was awesome. At first, I was like, is he by underneath a bridge? No, that's First Energy.
Yeah,
It's not First Energy anymore. That's Cleveland Brown Stadium.
He went on location to make the announcement.
On location. That was awesome. I think Joel Bitonio was the clear winner this year. Wyatt Teller, I think he was up and down early, but I feel like he played really well down the stretch. Posick, again, like I felt like everybody got good. They had more low moments early in the year than Joel Bitonio did. He was just Mr. Reliable. He's kind of turning into this generation's Joe Thomas in terms of like, is he future Hall of Famer?
I think so.
Yeah, I agree. I think he at least has an argument for it.
Might not be first ballot, but go ahead.
I got to tailgate with Brad Moneymaker right outside that stadium, and we drank lots of Arnold Palmers. Spiked Arnold Palmers, by the way. I believe it was a Jacksonville game, but he was a very fun time. Very good time.
That was awesome. These videos are awesome, guys.
Absolutely.
All right, so our next category is the Homeward Bound Award, which is Comeback Player of the Year. Maybe the best named category if you're a youngster or an older millennial.
Great movie.
Yeah, who likes
feel you, dog.
Chance, Shadow, and Sassy.
Sassy. Don't forget Sassy.
I think I voted it in for this one. I think my vote was JOK for this one. He went from a guy who it was like maybe he is too little to play linebacker here. You know, like we're not utilizing him. We don't know what we're going to do with him. He's going to drop back and play more off the ball. He should have been a Pro Bowler without having to be an alternate. He is an alternate now, right? He made it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he's a Pro Bowler. Played at a Pro Bowl level all year. Led the league, I think, in tackles for loss, or at least was up at the top. He was awesome. So I voted for JOK here.
I believe, if my memory serves correct, that I voted for head coach Kevin Stefanski for this because, if you read the tea leaves in the offseason, everybody wanted him fired. Nobody wanted Kevin Stefanski. Everybody said his seat is extremely hot. 11-6 record and a roster that was completely depleted by injuries. We should have had 3 or 4 wins.
I think we said this was a prove it year for Kevin.
Yeah,
and he proved it.
Yes.
He definitely proved it. And actually, my vote for this one was Joe Flacco. I know it was short-lived. I know it wasn't super long, but what he did in that stretch was phenomenal for a guy who was semi-retired, for most of the season. So
saved our season.
He sure did. So here's the winner.
Hey, Doc Pack. This is Andrew Jackson here. I am presenting the 2023 Mad Dawg of the Year Awards, and the category for this is the Homeward Bound Comeback Player of the Year. Your nominees are Joe Flacco, Kareem Hunt, JOK, Grant Delpit, and your head coach of the Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski. So, without further ado, let's get to it. The envelope, please. And your winner with an outstanding 47% of the vote, Mr. JOK. Great year, guys. Great fucking year. Also, shameless plug. If you like the shirt, get it at shopdogspodcast.com. Links in the description.
We're going to have to pay Andrew Jackson.
I love that dude, for real. Yeah. I've never even met him. Me and him are one and the same, I believe.
Oh, man, that was awesome. First of all, congratulations to JOK. Huge bounce back season. I feel like Joe Flacco is obviously worthy. Even Kareem Hunt, I felt like was worthy with the touchdown numbers he put up coming in, a few weeks into the season. Grant Delpit had a lot of great candidates for the Browns this year.
We haven't been saying this for any of the other categories, but the percentages was actually 47% for JOK and 40% for Joe Flacco. So they were neck and neck.
So they were neck and neck. But first of all, awesome video by Andrew Jackson. He's one of the oldest. He was like one of the first 3 members or so of the Dog Pack, going back 4 years. So we get real loose with that guy. That was a good time. Yes. Oh, man. All right. So our next one is the Dog Pound Dog. This is your unsung hero / fan favorite. I created this category the first year. I think I created it specifically for Dearness Johnson.
Two-time winner.
It's a 2-time winner. I think after the year, I was like, I don't know if Dearness is going to win anything, but he needs to win something. And so I created this category just for him, and then he won it twice. So that was good. I think for the unsung hero this year, I think I voted for the punter, Bojo.
Did you?
Yes, which he flipped the field, so he was a weapon.
That's true, man. He really was.
And punters don't get a lot of recognition, but there were times where we won games because he flipped field position at a time where it looked like they were going to get the ball at the 50 and they ended up getting inside the 20. So I went with Bojo.
That's fair.
I'm pretty sure I voted for D'Anthony Bell.
Oh, I know I voted for D'Anthony Bell.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where I went. Just like, oh, he's on the ballot here. Take my vote.
But all the nominees are worthwhile. So and
Yes.
Bojo's a good pick, honestly. But here we go.
Hey, Dog Pack. My name is Andy Kaiser, the 2023 champion of Josh's Dog Pack Fantasy League, handing Josh 2 out of his 3 losses on the season, including the championship game. And I'm here to announce the nominees for this year's Dog Pound Dog Award. The nominees are D'Anthony Bell, Corey Bajorquez, Jaron Christian, and Jordan Elliott. And your winner for the unsung hero, fan favorite of the 2023 season goes to none other than the Dawgs Podcast's very own D'Anthony Bell. Congratulations, D'Anthony. Go Browns.
Well, now I feel like a piece of shit for not voting for him.
I'm not gonna lie, the level of petty in that video was right up my alley.
Petty.
Yeah,
That was
right up
awesome.
my
See,
alley.
now that's the rivalry in my Dog Pack Fantasy League every year. Kaiser's always in my league, and this year we were in the championship. Man, I thought I had him. I really did.
It's
but
super funny that he's wearing the. First of all, he brought it up. He mentioned how many times he kicked your ass.
Yeah,
And Andy was wearing the
and the
T-shirt.
T-shirt, yeah, it's a cherry on top.
That
a lot,
was
Andy.
awesome. Josh and I have known Andy for a long. I played Pee Wee football with Andy Kaiser.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That was a long time ago.
I ran into him at a game. We were both in bad shape.
Thank you, Andy, for making Josh feel this big. That was awesome. Congratulations to D'Anthony Bell.
Yeah.
We're going to reach out to D'Anthony, let him know he won. Hopefully try to get him back on the show.
Another 2-time winner of that award.
Yes.
So
he won it last year, and I have a feeling he'll probably win it again next year. So we got to keep giving him the award so we can keep getting him on the show.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe we'll send him a
maybe you
trophy.
should vote for him.
Well, I knew he was going to run away with it, so I wanted to give the punter some love. So the next category, the Every Dog Has His Day Award. This is the performance of the year. What's crazy? No, okay, this isn't the one. I believe I voted for Mark Cooper here. Yeah, I mean the record day in Houston. I mean, he set a record.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't really. I get it. That one was up there for me. I went Myles Garrett in the Indianapolis game. The block field goal, that was as dominant as I remember him being. Other than a few, yeah, you could make the argument ever, but there was a few other games. But I remember just sitting there watching that game and was like, well, we don't need to really do anything. Myles Garrett is gonna win us this game.
He completely changed the way the game was going when he got the strip sack on Gardner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the next time the Colts got the ball down there, they tried nothing.
Yeah.
It was just 3 straight runs and punt because they're like, we're not going to let Myles Garrett just beat us. It was like Waterboy.
Yeah.
And so, yes, that's a good vote because that was about as much as a defensive player can take over a game.
Yeah.
Yep. And I voted for Deshaun Watson's second half at Baltimore. Excuse me. The perfect passing, the way he came out after a really, really bad first half, broken shoulder, sprained ankle, and just willed us to a victory in Baltimore against the best defense, one of the best defenses in the league. It's just, that was a turning point, we thought, for Deshaun and the Browns offense, and then IR the very next day. But it's funny, the 3 that we voted for so the winner of this award got 35%, second place was 30%, and third place was 28%.
So it's very close.
So those 3 plays were the ones. Yeah. Are we ready?
Yep.
Maybe. Technical difficulties.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh.
I got blue balls over here. Let's go.
Well, hold on a second. Here we go.
Hey, Dog Pack, it's your boy Fatal Gnome, and I am here to help present to you one of the 4th Annual Mad Dawg Awards. In a season of hopes and dreams and thought to be of destinies, fought through adversity and many injuries to extend the woes and heartbreak of many of the fan base. There developed a strong camaraderie of the next man up mentality, a whatever it effing takes season. And thus, I present to you the Every Dog Has Its Day Award nominees, or Performance of the Year, if you will. Amari Cooper with his Week 16 performance at Houston with 11 receptions, 265 yards, and 2 touchdowns. David Njoku's Week 17 versus New York Jets, 6 receptions, 135 yards, 128 of those in the first 16 minutes. Deshaun Watson with a Week 3 versus Tennessee, 81.8 completion percentage, 289 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Again, we have Deshaun Watson with Week 10 at Baltimore, his second half performance of 14 out of 14 for 134 yards and 1 touchdown and 16-yard rush, which was a first down on the game-winning drive. We have Myles Garrett with a Week 7 at Indianapolis for 9 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 1 of those recovered for a touchdown, 1 pass defensed, and 1 blocked field goal. Then we have Joe Flacco with a Week 17 versus the Jets, a 16 out of 22 for 296 yards and 3 touchdowns with 1 interception in the first half. And with a drumless drum roll, the winner of your Every Dog Has Its Day award of the 4th Annual Mad Dawg Awards is Amari Cooper with 35% of the overall votes. Congratulations to you, Amari Cooper, on what was a truly whatever it effing takes record-breaking performance.
First of all, Fatal Gnome is like a wordsmith.
Yeah, that was great.
He's very good. He's very good with his words. He could like write some scripts for us.
Yeah.
2, I loved his T-shirt.
Yeah.
And then 3, did you guys see that sick ass poster he had in the background?
That was very nice.
Yeah, that guy it was all a Dawgs podcast.
I was fixated on that sweet beard too.
Yes.
I
And I love
pretty
his little gnome he's got on the desk with the
seen
balloons.
that,
Awesome.
yeah. Yes.
So that was an awesome video. Congratulations, Amari Cooper, with the big performance of the year performance down in Houston. Record-breaking performance. Can't wait to see what he does again this year.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right. So then we got the dog trick. This is the play of the year. I believe I voted for Greg Newsome's pick 6 against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens in Week 10. First career interception, took it back for a touchdown, and it completely flipped that game. And it was like, man, the Browns aren't going away. Like it kind of, to me, it was like a turning point of the season, and it was such a big moment, such a cool moment for Greg Newsome. So that's the one I voted for.
I think I voted for the Joe Flacco, Jerome Ford. Whenever Flacco somehow avoided that sack against the Jets on Thursday Night Football and dumped it off to Ford, who was wide open after, the play broke down, and then he just took it down the field, broke 4 tackles, and Jerome Ford, we gave him a lot of crap this year, but on that play, he was not scoring.
Yeah.
Yes. It was awesome.
Crazy. I believe I voted for Myles Garrett jumping over the line and blocking a field goal just because a man that is that big
shouldn't be able to do
not physically be able to do that without hitting somebody and getting a penalty. So, yeah, I think that's what I went with.
What's going on, Dog Pack? It's your boy Natus the Greatest, Fantasy Dog Pack Champion, here to present the Dog Trick Play of the Year Awards. We got 7 nominations for this award because we had a ton of good plays this year. First nomination is Greg Newsome's pick 6 against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens in Week 10. Second one is Joe Flacco to Jerome Ford. Pocket escape, dump off pass leads to 4 broken tackles and a touchdown against the Jets in Week 17. We got Myles Garrett's strip sack on Gardner Minshew in the end zone, recovered for a touchdown. We got Myles Garrett jumps over the offensive line to block the field goal in Week 7 against the Colts. We've got Myles Garrett should have had a safety on Kenny Pickett to open the Steelers game. We got Joe Flacco somehow threads 3 Bears defenders to hit Amari Cooper for a 51-yard touchdown. And finally, we got Maurice Hurst tips Geno Smith's pass to himself for the big man pick. We got a lot of good plays out there. We'll go ahead and see who the winner is here. And the winner of this year's Dog Trick Play of the Year is Myles Garrett jumps over the offensive line to block the field goal in Week 7 at the Colts. Thank you very much for having me. We'll talk to you later. Have a good one, Dog Pack.
So first of all, Natus the Greatest, elite level COD player.
For real.
Like elite. If you
I
play COD,
watched hours of him streaming one day.
That's who you want to grow up and be.
Yes.
If you play COD.
Yeah.
Okay. Like we're talking like top 1% here.
Yes.
So awesome video. I love seeing everybody's setup.
Yeah.
That's
you know
a great
what I mean?
setup
I love
too.
seeing all their setups. So that's very cool. Congratulations. Miles, jumping over, like you said, He should not be able to do that.
Right.
And I remember watching, I was like, oh, who blocked it? And then they showed the replay, and I was like,
Holy shit.
yes. Like, I was like, that was my exact, holy like, so, and like we said, he took over that game. Just, I mean, half of his nominations were from one game.
Yeah.
So awesome performance by Myles Garrett. We'll have him in the studio next week. No, I'm just kidding. Well, maybe we'll see. I'm not going to rule it out. So congratulations, Myles, and thank you for the video, Nate. That was awesome. Save some dubs for the rest of us. So next category, got a couple more categories left. Offensive top dog, offensive player of the year. Sadly, first year that Nick Chubb won't win this award. This is where I believe I voted for Amari Cooper. I voted in Njoku for the pass catcher of the year because I knew I was going to be voting for Amari Cooper here for offensive player of the year. 1,309 yards, 5 touchdowns. I voted for Amari.
I'm with you, Amari Cooper. Yep.
And I flipped the other way. I actually voted for David in this one. So here we go.
1001, 1002, 1003. Oh, hey there, Dog Pack. I didn't know you were here. We're just sculpting the guns for a massive presentation. What's that? Oh, the Mad Cow. That's in England. Oh, the Mad Dawg Awards. Yes. I better get ready. I don't have my suit. Where is it? Oh, they got the Dapper threads out today. Must be very important. Well, enough ballyhoo. I have a very urgent announcement to make. This is a major award. Dog Pack, it is Kenny Mack. Here are your nominees for this year's award for Offensive Top Dog. And they are Joe Flacco, Amari Cooper, David Njoku, and last but not least, Jerome Ford. And this year's winner of this Mad Dog Award goes to Njoku. That's right, the Chief, the angry runner. Congrats, David Njoku. We loved watching you all year and what you become as a football player and how you ingrained yourself into the community. Cheers, David Njoku. Let's go, baby.
Well done, Kenny Mack.
I was getting heavy Ron Burgundy vibes there.
Did you see the poster in the background?
God, yes.
Yep.
Oh, so well done.
I don't know what was better, the curls
Yeah, that was great.
or just his facial expression.
What about the finger snap?
I felt like he was about to just bend me over this desk.
Well, I don't know about that, but my goodness.
Like he was just looking at me, he was giving me like F me eyes while I was reading these awards. Kenny, leave some for the rest of us, man. Awesome video. Congratulations to David. I think he's solidified his place as one of my favorite Browns players like ever.
Yes. I agree.
So I love the Chief. I'm so excited for him to win this award. Congratulations. Awesome video entry, Kenny. I did not think we'd be seeing any transitions.
No,
So that was awesome. So we'll move on to the defensive top dog. This is your defensive player of the year. Obviously, I voted for Myles on this one, and I think he's got a great shot to be the NFL defensive player of the year here in a couple hours.
Agreed.
Myles Garrett as well.
Yeah, sweet.
Hey, Dog Pack. This is Mama Tendo or Samantha in the YouTube chat. And here are your nominees for this year's Defensive Top Dog Award. They are Myles Garrett, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Martin Emerson Jr., and Grant Delpit. And your winner for the Defensive Player of the Year for the 2023 season award goes to Myles Garrett with 52% of the votes. Congratulations to Myles and go Browns. Woof, woof.
Let's give it up for Mama
Yes.
Tendo. She's new. This was her first full season being in the Dog Pack. She jumped in, played fantasy football with us, took in Njoku in like the first or second round.
She's never played fantasy before.
Yeah. She just jumped in, said, I'm going to have a good time with all these losers.
Yeah.
And she just fit right in. She's been awesome in the Dog Pack. So this was, slightly out of her comfort zone coming on here doing this. So give her a big round of applause.
Yes,
That was an awesome video
Yep.
entry.
We appreciate you.
Yes, that was awesome. Congratulations to Myles. I think he's won this every year.
I think so.
And he probably will continue to win it as long as he's a Cleveland Brown.
Yep.
Dominant year for Myles. Again, it sucked he had the injury late. Maybe he didn't finish the season quite the way he wanted to, but he was still affecting the game in so many ways. Like I said, I think he's got a real shot of being Defensive Player of the Year. It feels like this is the year he's going to get it.
Yep.
So we'll find out here tonight at the NFL Honors, but congratulations, Myles Garrett. So Last category, wrapping up the 2024 Mad Dawg Awards. Before we say the last one, I just want to thank everybody who sent in a video. These have been awesome.
Yes.
It's taken the Mad Dawg Awards to a whole new level. I'm so appreciative of you guys sending in these videos, making the show great. And I'm just appreciative of you guys just being in the dog pack in general. Some of you guys literally for years. So it's just been an awesome show. If you like what you're seeing, you see how much fun we all have in the dog pack, you like being a part of the show, head to join the dogs, become a dog pack member. It's a great time. So the Best in Show award is our last one. Team MVP. I think I voted. I probably voted for Myles Garrett here.
Okay.
Because I think the defense carried for most of the season. He was the best player on the defense. So I went with Myles Garrett.
I went with Dustin Hopkins.
Actually, no, that's who I voted for.
Yeah, a guy that, in years past, moments where we'd go, well, damn, we were so close to winning that game, but just Cade York missed it. He was pretty much clutch for us all year. Every time there was a big kick, big moment, he was very, very clutch. I don't think you can say more about it.
I went Dustin Hopkins because I thought if we didn't have him, what's our record? And I think we lose at least 3 or 4 more games.
For sure.
So I did vote Dustin Hopkins.
Nope, that's very fair. And then I just took it one step higher and said if we didn't have Kevin Stefanski, I don't think we win a lot of the games that we won this year. So that was my vote for this one. So here is the winner.
What's up, Dog Pack? I'm Tyler. I'm going to be announcing the winners for the Browns MVP award for this past season. Kick it off, we've got a couple nominations to go over. First, we've got Miles, JOK, D-Hop, Amari Cooper, The Chief, Emerson Island, Joe Flacco, and Stefanski. And winning it with 32% of y'all's votes is going to be Miles, obviously the best player in the world, best defensive player, not TJ Watt, not Aaron Donald, not Jalen Ramsey. Myles Garrett is going to win the DPOY next 2, so watch out for that. Go Browns, baby. Hoo.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm never going to complain about Myles Garrett winning MVP because I originally thought that's who I voted for. Then I forgot. A couple of weeks ago I was in a different mindset and I had voted for Dustin Hopkins.
Yep.
Awesome video entry. Thank you so much. I loved seeing everybody's setups, their brown stuff in the background, their gear. I was a little bit partial to everybody wearing dog pack gear. I thought that was awesome. Again, we appreciate all your video entries. We appreciate everybody who is here watching with us live. You guys were hyped for this episode all week. We appreciate your guys' energy and your enthusiasm for the show. We appreciate you guys being here tonight with us, hanging out with us the last few weeks, even though the Browns haven't been in it. As we have the Super Bowl this week and we transition into the offseason, we got to come up with a plan. I don't know if we'll still be going live as much. We might be doing more recordings and all that good stuff. Thank you for another great football season. This was the funnest season yet. And transitioning into the lives for the post-game reactions was awesome, getting your guys' voicemails for them. We appreciate you guys doing that, making this a super fun season. We can't wait to do this for a 5th football season now with you guys. Yeah. Yep. We got a lot of fun stuff planned, and none of that would be possible without you guys. So, again, thank you guys for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for participating. And we'll see you guys all sometime next week talking Super Bowl, talking about some things going into the offseason. Thank you. Go Browns, and go good football on Sunday.
Nice.
Thanks, everybody.